Good afternoon, friends. Long time no see. This is Alex on the, what are we today? 10th of January 2026, currently 12:20 in the afternoon. Just at the foot of Mount Myogi at the moment. Just a mountain I felt like climbing. Not one of the 100, might be one of the 200, I'm not sure. That's a general map to give you an idea of where we are. We're here currently. Gonna walk here, I think, and either go up here or up here, I think. That's the loose idea anyway. Ultimately, Sormadake, this one is the main peak, 1,104 meters. There's also Higashidake and Nakanodake over here, over at Kondo-san or Kondo Yama. I've seen that this might be a sort of advanced course, so I might do this, I'm not sure. Either that or go up here, I think, because this looks a bit easier, and then maybe come down via the trains. I'm not sure. Still sort of deciding what to do as of now, but yeah. Just need to make sure that I go the right way here, because there's two paths here. I have a feeling it will be the right hand path, the mountain looking path anyway, that we need to go up. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, maybe Mount Myogi is one of those sort of beginner friendly courses that yeah, it's in Gunma prefecture. Not one of the 100 famous, but quite sort of good to sink your teeth into, to you know, get a taste for the mountains, I think. There's sort of Jokyu, Chukyu and Ippan Tozamichi, which is a sort of beginner, intermediate and advanced in red here. The course that I'm trying to go up is looks like it's going to be advanced, but I'll sort of go up and see what it feels like, because I don't really want to get in an accident, and it's also quite a late start that we're doing today. To the summit it should take about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, I think. Just sort of light sort of mountain to stretch my legs a bit, because I've not been out in nature for quite a while. So yeah, I'll take some more footage probably, as the weather is very good today. I can't really show you at the moment because in the middle of a forest, but yeah, maybe when there's a bit more exposure, when I've got my helmet on later on, I'll take a bit more footage. But yeah, until next time, Alex out. Hello again, friends. Alex on the 10th of January 2026. Currently 1 o'clock in the afternoon, on the way up to Mount Myogi, currently at viewpoint number 2 on the Omote Myogi, or the front Myogi trail anyway. I just thought I'd take some footage here because it's quite pretty. As you can tell, stunning weather today, not a cloud in sight. As I mentioned earlier, the only slight downside to this trip is I don't have much time to dilly-dally around, because at around 4 o'clock, 4:30, the sun will start setting and it will get dark fairly quickly. So yeah, elevation, we're about 640 meters elevation or so at the moment. Mount Myogi itself, as I showed earlier, or Mount Sorma anyway, is about 1,100 meters. So yeah, we have about 500 meters of a very steep ascent from here. Need to briefly go down from the viewpoint anyway to get back onto the main trail. But yeah, it's about 500 meters, very steep ascent. Should take about an hour and 15 minutes or so, hopefully. Yeah, Mount Myogi, as you can probably tell, is very, very jagged in places. I've actually mistaken this for a mountain in Tokyo, so I sort of came here with quite light feelings as to climbing it, but as I've been progressing through the course so far, I've realised that I mixed it up with a mountain in Tokyo called Mount Kintoki. But yeah, doesn't mean that I'm not really prepared for this, so to speak, so I've done my research into it, but just need to take care on both the ascent and descents like this, where there's lots of chains in place. And then when I get to the summit of Mount Sorma anyway, the return trip, I'm doing a sort of ridge walk and looping back round to the mountain entrance. So I'm basically progressing up the around the sort of south side of the Omote trail at the moment, and then the return will be via the north side. If I'm clever, I will try and remember to put a map of sorts into this clip, just to give you an illustration as to what I'm talking about. So yeah, there you go. That was the second viewpoint anyway on the Omote Myogi trail. I'm going to continue first descending, then ascending up this Goliath looking peak over there. In fact, I can probably show you what it looks like. Don't want to trip here because it's about a 250 meter drop or so by the looks of it. yeah, the peak is sort of beyond these trees there. You might be able to tell in the distance. It's that one there. Don't know if I'm sort of illustrating that well enough for you, but yeah. Thank you very much for watching up until now. I'll take some footage a bit more later, but until next time, Alex out. Hello again, friends. Alex on the 10th of January 2026, currently at 2:30 in the afternoon at the summit of Mount Myogi, or Myogi-yama, or Myogi-san's main peak anyway, 1,104 meters. Quite a tough climb up here. I've not really taken any footage on the climb up because it was a bit boring, because I was just climbing up in the valley all the time. As you can tell, quite a nice view from here. Not much snow on Mount Myogi itself. That peak straight ahead of us is Mount Asama. You can't actually climb up there currently. The main peak of Mount Asama, I think, is the one that's slightly rounded. You're not allowed to go in there currently because of volcanic activity. Instead, you go to Mount Myogi, which is to the left of the main peak, if memory serves. That might also be cordoned off at the moment though, due to volcanic activity. There are some other peaks as well off in the distance that are quite snowy, but unfortunately there's a bit of cover up here on the summit, so I can't really show you. It's over towards Niigata prefecture, so I'm thinking sort of Mount Tanigawa and Echigo-koma maybe. Both mountains sort of just shy of 2,000 or a touch over 2,000 meters if I recall. So yeah, it's quite nice. I'd say it was quite a nice climb up here. It was a bit of a challenge really, because I've not exercised in terms of going to the mountains in quite a while. I've just been going to the gym and doing weights, so it means that my stamina isn't as good as it should be. But yeah, I would say that my climb is over now, but I am also planning on doing some of the other subsidiary peaks in Mount Myogi over the next couple of hours as the sun begins to set and it becomes nighttime. But just going to take it easy really, because as I've mentioned in multiple videos before, I think 70% of mountain accidents happen on the way down, so best not to let my guard up, best not to let my guard down even, and just be careful all the way through today. I slightly cut my finger as well on the way up, which is not particularly pleasant, so I'm not going to show that on video I think too much anyway. But yeah, I don't really think I talked about Mount Myogi itself very much when I was doing the opening clip for this. Mount Myogi itself is 1,103 meters, as I mentioned earlier. Mount Soma, Mount Tengu, Mount Naka, Mount Higashi or East. There's a lot of peaks that make it up. It's quite jagged as you see it from the distance. Often if you're driving from Tokyo into Gunma, you'll see Mount Myogi in the distance, and it's often got signs on the highway and such, or the motorway indicating as such. There's also a big shrine at the entrance that I didn't pay patronage to this time, because I didn't bring my stamp book that I normally bring for shrines and temples. So yeah, for those who are interested in temple trotting or shrine trotting, that's also a point of notice potentially. There is also a character die, this one, the one that looks like Fire Blast from Pokemon. That's on the eastern face of Mount Myogi on the way down. I'll probably see that when I'm going down as well, so if it's still bright enough to take video footage, I might take a shot of that later. So yeah, that basically rounds up, I'd say. Yeah, in terms of distance from Tokyo and such and Kansai, from Tokyo it's about a 2.5 hour drive. From Chiba anyway, where I'm situated currently, it took about that long. From central Tokyo it might take a touch longer. From Kansai, because it involves going to Gunma prefecture, it would take a good 5 or 6 hours, I imagine, on the motorway. So yeah, that about sums up my ramble, I think. So I'm going to have a brief break here at the summit, just so I don't tire myself out too much, and then continue down temporarily from Mount Soma and then back up to Mount Tengu, and then it's just keeping on the ridgeline, I believe, is my understanding anyway. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. That's Mount Asama in the distance. Blue skies all around, other than the Northern Alps in the distance, which appear to be clouded over. Thank God I didn't go there. So yeah, until next time, Alex out. Hello again, friends. Alex on the 10th of January 2026. Currently 3:20 in the afternoon at the summit of Mount Tengu in Mount Myogi. around 1,080 meters, and this will be the penultimate peak that I summit on my way down. Just working my way along the ridgeline currently. Don't know if you can make it out on the video, but that's the sort of Gunma basin over there with Takasaki City, Shimonita City, Tomioka City. It all sort of sprawls that way, gradually merges into the Kanto basin over towards Tokyo, Saitama, Chiba, etc. There was a much better vantage point earlier that I kind of regret not taking footage from, but Mount Asima was a lot clearer to see over there. It's just in the distance. And then the snowy peaks that I was talking about are sort of in the distance over there, northwards, over towards Niigata prefecture, northern Gunma and such. So yeah, just making steady progress. I'm not really rushing too much, because I'm acutely aware that I'm starting to get a slight touch tired on the way down. Fortunately, there's no more major ascents to do on the way down. I'm just going to be taking care along the ridgeline, slowly making my way towards civilization again, down towards the Gunma Basin anyway, where Mount Myogi shrine and such are. So yeah, just going to continue making my way eastwards on the way down. So until next time, Alex out. Good afternoon, friends. Alex on the 10th of January 2026, currently 10 to 4 in the afternoon, on the way down from Mount Myogi now. Just thought I'd take some footage of this. As I mentioned earlier, I said that this might be suitable for beginners. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. Highly exposed knife ridge descents or ascents. You probably can't see here as well, but this is also a knife ridge that I've just come down. Obviously very, very pretty, very, very fortunate with the weather, and very fortunate that it wasn't snowy, because if it was at all snowy on here, although I've bought light chain spikes, I would have probably turned around at this point, because this is actually quite terrifying. It's similar to the Northern Alps, really. So yeah, I didn't really look into this enough, which is evident from my surprise anyway. As I mentioned, at least the weather is nice. We've got about another 30 minutes, 40 minutes of sunlight, which I just hope to get through these precarious sections before the sun does set. But yeah, just need to go down here. Down here is about I'd say 400 meter, 500 meter sheer drop. So yeah, when I'm going down here, I'm backstepping and just looking to the right hand side because I'll be climbing backwards like this. So yeah, it's just a small update from Alex on Mount Myogi. So yeah, beginners don't come to Mount Myogi. Make sure you have an experienced person with you. This is a bit of a silly mistake on my behalf, but yeah, I'll take care on the remainder of the descent. Hopefully take some footage at the large character, the Dai character that I was talking about earlier. But yeah, I'm just making sure that I hold onto a rock because I don't want to sway and fall to my death. So yeah, until next time, Alex out. Hello again, friends. Alex on the 10th of January 2026, currently 5:05 in the evening. I'm on the way down from Mount Myogi now, around 750 meters elevation. Obviously it's gotten quite dark now, so it's quite hard to make out, but the illuminations down there, that's a sort of indicator of how far I need to go down to the car park, which is just to the left of it, where my car is still parked, I believe. If it's not, that would be a problem. As you can tell behind me, this is the big Dai character that I was talking about. No idea why it's here. There's probably some history behind it that I've not really read up on, but yeah, it's a large character. As I mentioned earlier, when I was at the top of the mountain during daylight anyway, this is probably the Gunma Basin spreading out before us, with Tomioka City, Shimonita City, then leading into Takasaki and Maebashi, which are all the sort of main cities in Gunma prefecture, which is in the centre of Japan. Yeah, I might need correcting on that. I can't tell. Tomioka might be the left one, Shimonita's the right one, and then it's kind of far off in the distance, but Takasaki and Maebashi will be around there, I think, anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna continue climbing down. I drastically underestimated how difficult the descent would be. On this trip, I really should have done it the opposite way around. I feel like climbing up this route and then descending down the other one that I climbed up anyway, with the 500-meter steep ascent. Descending down the amount of chains that I have today has kind of done a number on my hands. But hey ho. The only gloves that I bought were what do you call it? Ones to fend off the cold or ward off the cold, rather than a sort of what do you call it, having grips on them to be able to do chain work, if that makes sense. As a result, doing my bare hands would be felt better rather than using my woolen gloves, which I had, which would slip. There were some areas that are highly exposed that if I slipped and lost my handling, wouldn't really want to think about it. Basically, we'll put it that way. But yeah, from here, I think it's about another 300 meters descent from here or so. As I mentioned, about 750 meters now. The car park itself is about 460 meters. So yeah, just shy of 300 meters to descend. To the actual shrine, that's about 100 meters above the car park. So it's only, in essence, about 200 meters, I believe. But yeah, just going to take care going through the forest now around this time as well. Although the bears and such have probably gone into hibernation by now, doesn't mean that they're not around, so to speak. So just going to be careful. But yeah, I am unlikely to take any more footage, I feel like, at the car park. I might do anyways, but yeah. If not, thanks very much for watching, and until next time, Alex out.